Joining me now from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, Jonathan Corpina. He manages trading and sales for Meridian Equity Partners. Great to see you again, Jonathan. Thanks for coming on the Rush Hour. Why don't you describe what happened on Wall Street today with that big plunge at the open and then a recovery? Tell us what went on.
Yeah, good afternoon. Leading in headlines that we received last night about Trump imposing tariffs on Canada and Mexico, instantly S&P futures broke down to harsh levels overnight. Took a while for our markets to kind of digest all that information. And as we got through the trading session, once we got more information coming out of Washington, we're getting a delay now, as of now, in tariffs for Mexico. Once we got that delay of the headline from February 1 to March 1, potentially, the market rebounded from there. And this just shows me just how fragile our markets are and just how much we're relying on this headline to kind of dictate and show us the next patterns in our market. Any tariff headline that comes out, we've seen this before, an announcement of a date, the market gets hit hard, and then we get a delay, or some of this is part of some of the negotiation factors that are put in place. Then the market kind of softens and rebounds from there. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. We know these dates are coming up. We know we're going to have these conversations again. President Trump has talked about tariffs on China, tariffs on EU. So this is going to be a reoccurring theme. Again, this is a negotiation tactic, I guess, to bring everyone to the table and really put your cards out there. But what comes out of these conversations, I think, is going to be more important.
Are you expecting a lot of volatility until we know what does come out of those conversations? Because the potential for an all-out global trade war and disrupted supply chains remains at risk.
Right. So again, President Trump is using this as a negotiation tactic, right? Does he want the pendulum to swing all the way one way? I would think not. I would think he's going to use this to get to an agreement or to a point that he feels most comfortable with. But yes, we are going to continue to have a lot of volatility in our markets because there's a lot of unknown on how this plays out, right? We continue to hear about tariffs on Canada, but some things might be exempt. He's using this for Mexico to stop the trade-in of fentanyl. There's different factors that are associated with, and as we continue to try to peel away the layers, there's still many unknowns. So yes, I do think we're going to continue to have volatility in our markets as this continues to unfold, and this is not going to be an overnight thing. This is going to take time, right? There's some deadlines as to March 1, so we're going to relive this all over again until we get some real solid data, some real solid information on what the implications of tariffs is going to mean, both for the country that's being taxed and for us as the U.S.
And how are you advising clients? How are you advising investors in general who are looking at some volatility, for example, in their 401ks? Do they ride it out? Do they maybe slide over into the bond market in the meantime?
Yeah, I don't think we need to make any harsh moves right now, right? Because you continue to see the market with volatility, it bounces back to where it is, right? And when you take a step back at the end of 25 and we look at the chart of January and foreseeable February and March, it's just going to be a little blip in our calendar there. What I would say is that sometimes you get these opportunities when there is pressure on the market, and we do see some stocks that are down 2, 3, 4, 5%. That might be an opportunity to pick in. Tech sectors clearly gets a lot more volatility when associated when we're talking about tariffs, considering mostly with China. But if there are some stocks out there that you do like, and you see sometimes they're trading at a discount, it might be a chance to step in, but by no means would I recommend reallocating your portfolio until any of this really plays out.
And when you say step in, I mean, some of these sectors that are getting really hard hit because of the threat of tariffs, do you consider those discounts right now, or are those simply too volatile? I'm thinking, for example, the auto sector. You know, there's a lot of talk of Chipotle getting slammed earlier this morning. How are you viewing those sectors that are tied to the tariffs potentially?
Yeah, again, I mean, if you're looking at it as a trade, then once it does pull back, getting into some of that, buying some of those stocks, yes, could be an idea. From an investment point of view, I don't think you should make any changes for that. But again, there's so many different sectors that are going to be impacted by tariffs across the board, and we are going to continue to see volatility in this. So unfortunately, the viewers, us, we're still waiting for some more information. We're still waiting to see exactly how this plays out. It seems like the headlines keep swinging back and forth from harsh implications to, okay, we're going to talk, okay, we might delay this for a little bit. So we're getting all different sides here. Unfortunately, we do have to wait, and that's the conversations we're having with our customers. We saw that this morning coming into the markets. Yeah. There wasn't a ton of real, convincing selling going into this market. I think it was more of overnight evaporation in volume that pushed our market lower. But then once the market started opening and getting more information, it started to get some legs behind it.
Jonathan Corpina, senior managing partner at Meridian Equity Partners. Really appreciate your time as always. Thank you.
Thank you for watching our YouTube channel. Let Spectrum News be your resource for balanced, in-depth political coverage, and click the subscribe button right here. You can also download our app or watch us on TV to learn more about the candidates, where they stand on the issues, and more. We'll see you then.